whoever stumbles onto this. My name is Johnny. I'll be your host. And we're gonna do some game development, maybe, hopefully. Okay, so let me set everything up. This should be working. I should be streaming. Okay, well, here it comes. So this will probably devolve into me, you know, mumbling into the microphone as I try to make shit happen. But if you're into that, then you know you might enjoy yourself here. Okay, let's see what we can do. So today I am working on sorry, I'm just checking the volume here. Should be good enough, hopefully. Today we are working on the soldiers detecting each other. Once the unit detects the enemy unit, soldiers start scanning for other soldiers to fight with. So that's the plan. I don't really understand this microphone, so you can barely hear me. And yet at the same time I can hear my cat eating her food. So that's very strange. Anyway. Okay, let me actually check Twitch real quick. See if everything's okay. Let me also check YouTube. Okay, Twitch. Channel. I am live right now. Okay. And I should be live on YouTube as well. My channel. Yep, looks like I am live. Okay, so it's fine. Okay, good. Okay, let's get to development. So. So I'm gonna take this unit and what do I do with it? Okay, so we're scanning for okay, I'm pretty sure I wrote some notes for myself. Engage range detection, do actual features. Okay. In front of us at distance of 1500. Okay. So now I have to do a sphere trace, which I'm not 100% sure how to do, but you know, we'll figure it out. Let's do this, and we will remove this later when we remove the debug bits. Okay, how do we do sphere trace? Sphere trace by channel. What does this do? Visibility. characters to ignore. This is not the one I want. Okay, let me check out how I did line trace here. And I have a function for line tracing, I'm pretty sure. Here we go. Line trace for objects. And I'm checking for pawns. Line trace. Okay, so if I want to do this, I should do sphere trace for objects. Object types. What is the thing called? Oh, make array. Okay. Make array pawn. There we go. Okay, let's use the same sphere trace here. So we're gonna start with. Wait, what is it? End of a sphere trace. Trace for multi-sphere box capsule. Seems like I have a viewer. Hello. Okay. Start of line segment, end of line segment. Okay. Draw the book sphere. That's a center and then just radius. Rosie, hi. Yeah. Okay, ask Claude. He will know. Maybe, probably, hopefully. Start where the sphere begins, end where the sphere ends. The sphere sweeps from start to end, checking for collisions along the path. Wait, what the hell does this mean, even? No. This makes no sense. So, unit location plus 200 units forward. Okay. What do you mean by sphere ends? Sphere trace sweeps the sphere along a line. Start to end, starting everything it hits along the way, like dragging a ball from point A these are at my location right now. What the fuck? How is that helpful? Rolling. Sphere travels like dragging a ball from point A to point B. How is that helpful? That's a ridiculous concept. Rolling a ball from point A to point B and checking anything it hits. Trace by object. Trace for objects, multi-line sphere. Sweeps a box along the given line. There's a collision trace along the given line. Okay, so line trace I understand. Sweeps a box along the given line. Capsule. Sweeps a capsule. I didn't want to click that. I just wanted to read it. Trace for object. Yeah, these are all. There's a collision trace along the given line. Why is it multi-line and regular line? What is the difference here? Okay. Line trace for objects. How does it differ from one another? I really don't know. I really wish I knew. There's more. Trace color, trace head color. Draw debug time. I will probably be using this later. Okay, let's try the sphere and we'll see what happens. Trace sphere trace by object for objects. Okay, we'll use the same location then. Calculate user position. So that's okay. I can just actor location, get actor location. Okay, so let's do both here. Yep, radius is gonna be set 1500, right? 1500. Object type is an array. That's correct. And we're also gonna say yes. Let's draw time. Okay, 5 seconds. That's fine. So when we do this, okay, hold on. I'm gonna say out hit cast as BP soldier. This is my object. Why can I not? What was it? How did I do it in this one? Out hit and then okay, line trace. Oh, break it result. Okay, I forgot that one. Break it result. Boom. spelling I'm using. Hit actor, yes. There we go. I'm gonna cast it as BP soldier, and now we're gonna check if the soldier belongs to that unit. And if it does, we will say, hey, found the soldier you were looking for. So we're gonna say, we're gonna do branch, and we're gonna say if the enemy unit to attack, and we're gonna say get unit ref. So if his unit, if the soldier's unit is the same as my unit, equal. If these guys are equal, we're gonna say print string found the unit to attack. And once we found the unit to attack, we're gonna let soldiers start scanning on every tick or something. But I don't want them scanning so much all the time, so I'm just gonna do this for now. Okay, let's try and see if it works. I still will probably have to check. I thought I would just want to scan for that enemy unit in front, but maybe. Oh, so that's what it looks like. Hold on. We didn't hit the soldier. We definitely should have hit multiple soldiers by now. Guess something is not working right. Something is not working correctly. What would that be? Okay, I'm gonna have to do some print strings here. Print string. Let's print out the soldier. Let's see if that does something. It should do something. Okay, we found a unit to attack. Okay. So okay, this is a little dumb. Build a string. Whatever objects. And we're gonna say this is gonna be prefix. The in object is here. Okay. Let's see. Because now BP unit 2B, no, BP unit 2, BP unit C3. Hey, what the hell is that? This is very weird. Okay. The unit to attack. And the unit that this soldier belongs to get unit. No, that's just gonna give me the struct, which If I break this, I have the unit ID, unit soldiers, unit name. Yeah, but I can't use that for comparison. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work well at all. Let me do something here. Let me run the game, and we're gonna pause it for a second. Yeah, okay, let's pause. So the unit I am, excuse me. Okay, so the unit I am controlling is BP Unit 2. These guys are Team A. This is Team A5, Unit ID 0. Okay, I don't know about the unit ID, but okay. We are moving to attack, yes. And the unit I am trying to attack is Unit 3. Team B1. Also unit ID 0, that's not great. But it shouldn't matter. Okay, now let me press play. BP unit 2B. BP unit C3. That's okay. I have to. Okay, let me look at the individual soldiers. This soldier. Unit ref, BP unit 3. Okay, so that's BP unit 3. Now we're gonna look at my unit that I'm controlling. Right, and because the unit is not exposing this, is visible. Okay, let's try again. Not in a preview window, but in a big window. Let's try this. Okay. Pause it, stop it, and let's go unit 2. You are trying to attack BP unit 3. That's correct. Reference to actor. Level top down, persistent level, BP unit C3. Okay. And the soldier I checked has unit ref BP unit 3. Okay, so that should be correct, right? It should be the same thing. BP unit BP unit 3. BP unit 3, so that it should be the same thing. Well, I guess it's not. Okay, let's actually do something here. Let's display this. Let's do one more print string because the appends did not work as I expected. Let's do this. This is BP unit 3, BP unit 2. Because the sphere trace sees my soldiers first. Okay, I think I understand what the multi-sphere trace is now. Okay. Multi-sphere trace for objects. Okay. There we go. Now it hits. Are we gonna break? Yeah. And now we're gonna have to do this. Cast BP soldier. And if this happens, we can break, right? Well, okay, let's see what happens now. We're gonna also equal. I have to put back the condition. This, and this. Okay. Well, it should be a better thing. God damn it. The sphere trace is tiny now. Gonna do 1500. Yeah. Actors to ignore. Oh, okay. So I can actually just ignore. One frame is fine. Actors to ignore will be all of my soldiers. Can I get all of my soldiers? The unit should know of its soldiers. It's in the unit struct. Okay, I have to get rid of this. This was an interesting idea, but okay. Let's try this. See, I could have done that with the single line trace also. If I'd done that with the single line trace, just ignore. See, I need to read more. Okay. Attack triggered. Found the unit to attack. Wait, why did we... Okay, come back here. Unit 2, 3. Why are we printing out Unit 2 and Unit 3? I don't think we should be starting with a unit to attack. That's very weird. Okay, let me try again here. Unit soldiers, unit 0. Yeah, enemy unit to attack is nothing. All right, is it because... okay, I get that. I get it now. I wish I could get... I mean, the unit manager could have all the soldiers, right? I don't think that's a good idea. Because I'm saying, you know, ignore all the actors. I could ignore all the friendly actors. Instead of doing this, I could just ignore them immediately. I mean, I could do that once, but the scan for enemies happens. Scan for enemies happens like every half a second, so I would have to get them all the time. I don't know if that's better. Is it better? I need some music. Hold on. Do this, but I'm gonna try to listen to some music here. Oh, right. I forgot my AC was. There we go. Should be fine now. Why is these are not running? Yeah, okay. There we go. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Doing multi trace for objects. How do I filter the out hits? Yeah, I don't know. This is hard for me. The out hits, I would like the out hits to only work in front, but does it matter? Does it matter if they only work in front? I don't think so. I don't think it matters. Does this work the way I want it to work? If I break on finding the first soldier. Yeah. Okay, let's not break this anymore. Let's just go straight for this. That's not correct. Wait, no. Yeah, that's not correct. That can't be right. Because if I hit... Okay. Oh, we have to do something about this because this is not correct. Okay, let me send these soldiers back. And now I'm going here. It says hello. because it's okay. God, I'm so dumb. Okay, the braking doesn't matter. Okay, I'm getting a little too much sun right now. Okay. Okay. What's next? Okay, so let's draw this distance, and I don't think I'm gonna need the debug sphere anymore. We're just gonna draw. I don't know what happened to the frame rate, but okay. Yeah. Okay. So now I have found the enemy unit. Right? I tried to. Okay, let me check the trigger. Actually, the trigger function scan. We're gonna say. I'm gonna do that every 1 second. Damn it. Okay, every 1 second. Trigger attack enemy. That's every 3 seconds. That's fine. That's the function that makes sure that the soldiers are following the enemy unit. And scan for enemies. Sends out the multi-trace. And the multi-trace every 1 second checks if there is the enemy unit I'm trying to attack within 1,500 units. 1,500 units. Right, okay. So now I need to tell my soldiers to start looking for adversaries. This is trigger scan, this is trigger attack. Okay. Send out the attack first, and then we set a timer for 3 seconds. Okay. You don't need a timer here. And what about the scan? Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this as well. Let's just do a multi-sphere trace. I'm still wondering if I should get all the friendly units. Set them to ignore and then just look for but I don't think so. I don't think that's what I want to do. I'm thinking. Okay, let's leave it as it is now. That's fine. So every second I'm gonna check for the unit I'm supposed to attack. Actually, let's, in the trigger, let's actually also just do the scan immediately. Scan for enemies, and then set the timer. Now what I need to do is okay, this is kind of a pickle. I guess I can keep scanning for the enemy as long as I have an enemy to scan for while we are fighting. But if we are not fighting, hold on, scan for enemies. Okay, while we are moving to attack. Okay, that kind of works. So now that we have found the enemy units to attack, I should trigger the soldiers. Okay, hold on. Should soldiers scan? That's a boolean, and I'm gonna say should set this one as yes. And if we haven't found the enemy, set shoulder soldiers scan false. I'm worried that if the four corner soldiers that determine, well, but that's not actually, that doesn't actually matter, because what matters is whether there's, okay, so if the enemy unit is within 1500, they should scan, and if it's not, they should not scan. I think this is actually going to be fine. I'm going to say so if they are not scanning, no, not equal. Not Boolean. There we go. If the soldiers are not scanning yet, then set them. Wait, what? No. Mm. All right. Okay. Should soldiers scan? If they should scan, we need to get all our soldiers. Instruct split. And we need to do a for loop for each. Actually, we're gonna do a for loop here too for each. But actually, I need to do another branch first. Branch. See, that's the problem. Enemy found. Set it as false. And set enemy found as true. Now, if enemy was found, we should scan. But if we're already scanning, if should soldiers scan? If we are not scanning. Okay. Let me run through the logic again. If the soldiers are not scanning, but the enemies are found, we need to set should soldiers scan. Set that as a yes. And then run the loop. Okay. Why is there like a noise in my headphones? I don't know if that's just me or if everybody can hear that. Okay, I guess that's just the mic. Sorry about touching the mic. Because this means we're doing it for the first time. So we actually need to give every soldier an instruction to scan for enemy units. So should scan for enemy soldiers. There we go. So we're going to take each soldier, set should scan for enemy soldier, and we're going to give him a yes. Okay. So actually, I don't like the not statements here. I'm just going to, if the enemy is found and should show soldier scan is true, then we're doing nothing because they're already scanning. If should soldier scan is false, then we're going to set it to true and we're going to run the scanning. If the enemy is not found and airplane and the soldiers are not scanning, we're not doing anything. But if enemy is not found and we are scanning, then we're going to, we can actually just copy paste this. I know any programmer who sees this, like sees me copy pasting these blocks of code, is probably tearing their hair out. Well, we'll see if blueprints get removed from Unreal, then I'm gonna have to learn how to actually code in verse, which might be fun or might be not fun. I'm not really sure. Should soldiers scan, and I'm gonna set it to false. Okay. I'm pretty sure I could rewrite this with something like N or something like that. If true and false, if false and true. See, at university I would know exactly. I would know exactly which one, but I don't care. This is fine. This variable only holds in this running, so that's fine. If we found the enemy, if we haven't found the enemy. Okay, so now and now for the soldiers. So the soldiers. Okay, so now we have a way for the unit to tell the soldiers, hey soldiers, the enemy is close, start looking for an enemy. Okay. Okay. I wonder if that should have just been a function that I run on every soldier instead of setting it manually as a function. Oh, sorry, I don't know if this is gonna bother anyone. Okay. I have a tick event here. I really don't. Yeah. That's the thing I don't know now. I don't know if I should say, hey, on every tick, check for an enemy. Hmm. Hmm. It's a good question. It's a good question. Which soldiers should be scanning? Mm. Okay. Let's see if we can figure it out. Let's do event tick. I don't know if I should be doing it with a tick, but here we are. Branch this out. If we should scan for enemy soldiers, then let's say no, draw debug. Actually, no, I'm gonna do a line trace. Trace for objects, and we're gonna do a line trace. Okay. We're gonna start at our position, get actor location. Actually, I should have just said get actor transform. I'm gonna split location. I'm gonna say get forward vector. Yeah. Get forward vector. That's a normalized vector, right? And we're gonna say add. I'm gonna multiply this by, I don't know, float 750, let's say. Okay. Boom. Get actors to ignore. Get my unit reference. Get unit split struct. Let's ignore at least our soldiers. Let's draw for one frame, that's fine. Trace it color. Draw time seconds. Okay. And now if we hit an enemy soldier. Okay, break. Hit result. Hit actor. Cast as PP soldier. Soldier, his unit. Unit ref. Actually, well, yeah, okay. Enemy unit attack equal enemy to look on. We're gonna say PP soldier. I'm gonna set that here. Set enemy to look on. Oh, right. If this is true, then that PP soldier is my mortal enemy found. It should just be a print string. Print string. My mortal enemy. Mortal. My T key doesn't work. Okay, so and when this happens, okay, let's see what that looks like. Object types, right? Make array pawns. There we go. Okay, let's see. So we are looking. The unit is looking for soldiers. Once it hits. Okay. It's kind of working. Okay, let's see. So the frontline soldiers, for example, this one, but I haven't exposed it, right? I wish all of these were exposed immediately. No. Just gonna have to go here. Okay, let's do this. Let's watch them. Okay, so these soldiers up front, this guy should be locked onto an enemy. He's not. What about this guy? Also not. This guy? No. Why are these guys not? That is somewhat strange. Because I could clearly see them do the line trace. Let's see you guys do the line trace. Okay, it doesn't work. Let's see again. What happened here? Enemy unit to attack. Okay, there's a print string in here somewhere that is messing with me. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. Let's see if we can attack triggered. Yeah. Okay, so they do find their mortal enemy. So this soldier now has a mortal enemy. NVP soldier 65. Well, that's not. Yeah, see, the problem is, yeah. Yeah, this guy now wants to attack this guy, which is not, that's not good. 65 is over there. What is this guy? Who does this guy want to attack? 66. That's gonna be the one next to him. But their line trade, right? Okay, I need to do this again. Damn it. Yeah, I cannot do a line trace. Have you found your mortal enemies yet? Which soldiers are these? Not yet. Okay. Yeah, soldier 66. What about my second line soldiers? Have they found anything? Soldier 61. See, what I don't understand is I want to turn on my chair and I cannot. Okay, well, what I don't understand is why should just the front line be scanning? The front line scans, the second line scans if these guys are engaged, right? It cannot be a line trace. I guess that's the ultimate. Yeah, okay, draw it for 5 seconds. Just for me, yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. let's not do a line trace then. I want to save this somewhere, but yeah, let's not do a line trace. Let's do a multi multi-sphere trace by objects. Get actor location. It's gonna be start and end. I'm actually gonna switch my microphone. Okay. Because the microphone was buzzing and it was driving me crazy. So let's also so this is my object type. These are the things to ignore. Now we're gonna do for each. Break the result. I know casting is quite expensive, so well, we'll see. We'll see how it works. Line trace by channel. Yeah. Okay, so I have to figure this out. So let's just put this up here for now, because we now have to do a line trace by channel. Well, there are no actors to ignore this time. that's gonna be mine. And get the BP soldier's location, get actor location. Trace channel. Custom channel. That's not what I want. Trace for objects. Object. God damn it. Line trace for objects. Make. I don't want to make array again. Just whatever. Right. This at this moment. I don't care. Okay. So now we have to break. Oh, I can do that right away, huh? Is equal to this soldier. Branch. And then we're going to set him as the mortal enemy. Except I don't know if this will work. Let's see. And that would be because this is tiny. Oh, that's a big ass frame rate hit. Yeah. This is because we were doing multiple sphere tracing. And we're doing it on tick, which is a problem. Damn it. Yeah. I have to do a timer trick again. And this probably means that I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to trigger scan and trigger stop scan, basically. Trigger scanning for enemies. Stop scanning for enemies. This is going to be, and now we're going to say scan for enemy soldiers. Trigger scanning for enemies. I'm going to set timer by function name, and it's going to be scan for enemy soldiers, and I'm going to say every 1 second, right? And it's going to be looping and stop scanning. It's going to be timer by function clear, timer by function name. Yep. Scan for enemy soldiers. And scan for enemy soldiers is going to be what I put into the tick right now. That's going to be one thing. Okay, let's get all of this. No. Let's get all of this as we are, and let's put it into this. Yeah. But I also think okay, let's only give it to the first 4 actually. Let's not run through for each loop. Let's give it to no, we're not doing this. We're gonna say index array. How do you do for loop with like a for? It's only for each. Okay. Okay. Let me think. We're gonna say if the array index is because we know the line, the formation span. The formation span is 4, therefore we need to make sure that if branch array index is less than formation span. That means 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And we're not doing this, but instead we're doing trigger scanning for enemies. Doing this. Stop scan. Scanning. Okay, seriously, having a keyboard with the letter T not working all the time, you'd be surprised how important the letter T is, actually. Okay, so let's do this now. So we're gonna have the soldier, the trigger. Okay, I'm just gonna do scan for enemy soldiers here. Do a scan and then do it every 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can get anywhere with this. God damn it. The frame rate still dropped though. I don't really know why. think there's like a lot. So still nothing right now. We don't have an enemy. No, we do have an enemy, but it is Soldier 63, and I'm... See, that's the thing. Okay, so this guy is locked onto Soldier 63. This guy is locked onto Soldier 61. This guy is locked onto Soldier 60, which is probably the... Well... And this guy is locked onto Soldier 63. Again. Okay. See, this is why the frame rate is not great, because look at the, like, you know, these guys are highly detailed, I would say. Anyway. Okay, how do I make sure we pick the closest one? Okay. Let's say I run a sphere trace from my soldier. He finds 4 enemies in that radius of 750. How do I select the closest one to him? Loop through results and track the closest. Get actor hit result. Distance minimum distance update. Is there a way for me to... We're doing all these line traces and multi-sphere traces. This is just object types. I wonder if there's just like... Well, never mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do is scanning for enemy soldiers. Okay, so this is not going to work. So we're going to have to do a multi-sphere trace for subjects. Yes. We're going to cast them all. In a for each loop. Yeah, because I first need to figure out Okay. It's. I'm having a hard time focusing right now. Okay. Let's try this again. We're not going to do the line trace. I don't know if even we need to do this. I think comparing the unit ref is probably just as performant as comparing the teams, so I don't think it matters all that much. Okay. Okay, so I think what we're gonna say is valid. We're gonna branch this, and we're gonna say if it's valid, then we're gonna stop. What is it? Stop scanning for enemies. We're gonna trigger that function on our own. That's just gonna be our little thing here. If we found a enemy to lock onto. Otherwise, okay, so we're doing a multi-sphere line trace for objects. We're I don't know if this should be. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a sequence. Let's see if that works a little better. So the first part of the sequence is, let's say, potential enemy targets. I'm gonna do it this way. So I'm gonna create. I'm gonna get this array, add into this array this one soldier. So we've cast him as the BP soldier. We've checked that he is the enemy we're looking for, and we put him into the array in a for each loop. Once that is done, we're going to go to step 2, and step 2 is this: loop through results and track the closest, so that we don't track other enemies or allied units or whatever. Track the closest. Actor, hit result, can hit actor, distance. So we're going to say closest enemy. And we also, that's just going to be a regular single thing. And we're going to see closest distance. And we're going to say that is an integer, float, probably a float. The default will be, I don't know, 5,000. So I think maybe this would actually work a little better. No, this way. Like, if we hit anything, that's my whole point. Yeah, okay. Let's actually do that. Okay, branch and potential enemy targets not empty. There we go. That way we make sure that we actually have some enemies in our close vicinity. Yeah, okay, I don't know. Let's see what is it? Yeah, sure, man. That sounds like a, you know. Actually, let me check on something real quick. Okay, you sound like a bot, man. Okay, let me check on Twitch TV here. Channel stream right now. There's one person watching me. I can check who they are. It's interesting. Okay, well. Okay, whatever. Okay, let me get rid of this. There we go. I'm just gonna. Okay. So where were we? We also need to check if the enemy soldier is engaged in combat right now. Like if the enemy soldier has a target that it's fighting. This logic is way too complicated, but you know. Okay. And also I need to check if this enemy soldier enemy to lock on. Come on, get enemy to lock on. Is valid. And this should be So this checks if the enemy soldier is free. Looking for free enemy soldiers in our vicinity. Okay. If it's empty, we do nothing. If this only has one length, yeah, but we should do this in checks. Yeah, hold on. We're gonna do this. Actually, no, we cannot do it in checks. Because this needs to be, you know, branch. Yeah. And this is like at the end of it all. But first we have to check if potential enemy targets is just one length equals 1 equals 1. If that's the case, then that soldier can immediately become my locked on soldier. So we're gonna do set enemy to lock on. Set enemy to lock on. That's gonna be potential enemy targets. Get 0. Get him. And then stop scanning for enemies. And we're gonna say found my print string. Say found my target. Actually, I'm gonna also do that here. Okay. I'm pretty sure we don't even gonna have to check. So what I'm gonna have to do is now I need to do the comparison, right? So I'm gonna have to do a for loop with all these enemy targets, and at the end of that for loop, I will just do this so it doesn't need to be a sequence. So let's run for each loop. There we go. And we're gonna say hit actor, get actor distance. If distance is less than closest distance. Okay, but closest enemy, closest distance. Okay, so hit actor distance, get distance. Okay, so get location, get actor location. Well, that's probably gonna be, just this transform versus the other transform. Use get distance node. Can I use a get distance node? Get distance. Oh, interesting. Okay. Can I use self? Yeah. Branch is less if this is less than closest distance, then we're gonna set closest distance to this, and we're gonna set closest enemy to this guy. And as we set these, if there's one that's more distant, we're gonna do nothing. And as it's completed, we're gonna do this, set enemy to lock on. We're gonna basically rerun this thing. Set enemy to lock on. And it's gonna be the closest enemy. We haven't found anything, that's fine. Okay. So now we should be capable of finding our enemies. Okay, you said found my target, but you shouldn't actually be scanning anymore. Okay, so let me... Wait, he is scanning because... yeah, okay. This guy should have soldier 60 for his enemy. Nice. And this guy has soldier 61 for his enemy, which is this guy. That's correct. This is what it was supposed to do. Yes. Okay. And this guy has a soldier 62. Yeah, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. And because they now have enemies, so now you're gonna have to do pairs because this guy still has no enemy. So you're gonna have to pair them. You're gonna have to make sure that I'm gonna have to send a signal from this soldier to this soldier to tell him, hey, you're mine. Actually, it's funny because, well, I think the thing is, if these guys were also, they would still also attack these. Which, I mean, that's not a problem. And let me try that out actually. Unit. Okay. Let's remove this condition. Let's have them all looking for enemies, right? So we're gonna do this. We're gonna get these soldiers to move here, and we're gonna pause it a little bit once they start finding enemies. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Oops. Okay, let's see which soldiers target which. So this guy targets soldier 60. So does this guy. And so does this guy. This guy's soldier 61, 61, 61. See, the problem I have with this is that I don't want this guy to be like preoccupied with this one. I was like, you find the closest one, and you can keep scanning. Like, if enemies come from this side, you can turn around and fight them. I don't want him really to be like locked onto this guy until this guy dies, and then we can trigger rescan, and then you can be like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna step up and fight him. That's what it should happen, but I don't know if it will happen. That's an open question. Okay. That's not gonna work. Well, it is gonna work. I just need to send a signal to this soldier and tell him he's been locked onto. So once we say, oh, I found my target, that should be a function, right? Has been targeted by enemy. Let's do this. This would mean that an enemy soldier compile, sure. Enemy soldier. I'm gonna say BP unit. Not BP unit, BP soldier. BP soldier. Soldier. The enemy soldier has targeted me, and so we're gonna set. No, we're gonna set this. So that it's not constantly flipping around. We're gonna do in the soldiers targeting, scan for enemy soldiers. And I'm gonna send to my mortal enemy, get him, say, hey, has been targeted. You're gonna be the, no. Okay. Self, get a reference to self, yeah. This is kind of a weird thing, but it should technically work. Okay. And so now, if we do it again, yikes with this fucking frame rate. Okay, let's go. Okay. So, you've got a bunch of these guys finding their targets. So, this guy's target is Soldier 64, which I imagine is this one. No, it's not. Okay. Soldier 64. Ooh, why is that so far? Wait, Soldier 67. Why are we going that so far? is this because, yeah, because they keep scanning. Okay, so I need to tell them if you have an enemy, don't scan. Scan for enemy soldiers. Enemy to lock on. Get is valid. I'm gonna branch. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this basically. Yeah. I'm gonna have to clean that up a little bit eventually. But at this point, I don't care all that much. So you're gonna find some enemies. Okay. And now we're gonna say this guy is targeting soldier 60. And soldier 60 is targeting 43. Yes. Soldier 61, which is this, and this guy targeting soldier 64, which is in the second line. Great. But they're not really going to be able to get to each other, so that's fine. I think this should be in the trigger though. Trigger scanning for enemies. Yeah. If we don't have a valid enemy, yeah. So we don't even run the function. The unit should also we're moving to attack, but the moment we trigger scan for enemies, unit trigger unit movement, trigger unit move to attack. I think one of these soldiers should say, hey, we're attacking now. You're in attack position. Yeah, but that's probably all that I'm going to do today. So this will require a bunch of cleanup. But it's okay. Okay, let me check what I'm doing. So engage range detection, that's done. Line of sight soldier scanning, that's done. Soldier engagement system. Well, I think that's one's in progress. So we're gonna I mean, each soldier is gonna scan at a certain distance. And then they're gonna position themselves. Once they position themselves, so the two soldiers lock onto each other. They walk towards themselves, or like the attacking soldier comes to the defending soldiers, and they stop moving. And that's what I want. They stop moving, and they're locked onto each other. The rest of the unit does something. I don't know what it does. I think that's kind of going to be the problem, where it's like, if you don't have a direct path, don't go to the soldier, right? Or I'm really just going to do like front line should be attacking, and the back end soldiers should not do anything. They should just wait in line, wait their turn. And then when the soldier dies, everybody can rescan. Well, everybody, not everybody. That's the thing. I should have a way for the soldiers to, even if they have an enemy to lock onto, they would, well, if they're locked on, then they cannot rescan. That's a question. That's a question to figure out. Like a certain distance from the enemy. Maybe the 750 is too large a distance. I don't know. How much is the 750? Maybe 750 is way too much. Where's the scan for enemy soldiers? Show me duration of 1 second. Or let's say 0.5. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think 750 is too much. That might be my problem. So now we've seen them. Yeah. Because these guys at the end are, okay, let's try that. Maybe more like, 250 or something. I don't know, maybe 300. Yeah, 300 seems okay. Maybe we can do 350 for now. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But this truly is just for like engagement, right? Okay, let me attack these guys again. Okay, so at this point, we've got this soldier. What the hell? Where are all these bots here? Yeah, see, this is the kind of thing that just, yeah, whatever. So this guy is attacking soldier 61. That's him. Soldier 66. Really? That's this one. And this guy is attacking Soldier 67. Soldier 65. Soldier 45. This is the one. That's not foolproof. So you're trying to tell me that this guy, Soldier 40, yeah. The most interesting idea probably would be uh to increase that radius over time with every time I have to trace it, I increase the radius. Especially if the other soldiers are attacking, if there is fighting happening. I don't know. It's a mess. This part is definitely very, very messy. Okay, so let's put in some questions here. Attack distance. Soldier stops and print ready to attack. How do I fucking add a thing here? Okay. Yeah. Okay. I have to write something down before I forget. The multi trace could have increasing radius if I cannot find an enemy and the unit is fighting. I need to clean up the units. In the unit forcing soldiers to scan. Which is interesting because even when I said, you know, trigger scanning, scan for enemy units, I'm pretty sure the scanning was still happening, right? Let me, yeah. So we've got the, yeah, now we're close enough. Now we've detected the unit and now we're scanning. But are all the units scanning or just the... How many lines are there? I don't know if this guy is scanning. I don't think this guy is scanning. I think this guy is scanning. Which, I guess that's correct. But once they start fighting, and is this guy engaged with this guy? Soldier 60? No, he wants to go to Soldier 61. See, and then we would have to have this guy kind of go to Soldier 60, yeah. I mean, it could work, right? It could work. But this man also has Soldier 67, which is this man, right? Yeah. I have to stop now and go to the gym. Okay. So I guess we have this. So what's the next step? Next step. Give unit the fighting status. Stop scanning. Stop scanning. Units that have locked onto a soldier but haven't started fighting by 10 seconds will remove the lock. Wait for a soldier's death to rescan. Yeah. Only unengaged will rescan. So I think you need a timer, right? So as soon as you can get to the enemy, like if two armies are clashing, right? Let's forget the fact that an army can also be running away for now or moving, so like you're chasing them. But if you're chasing them, you're gonna get another attack. You're gonna get an attack command, and then you can rescan. So if you've locked onto a soldier and you try to get to him, but let's say within 10 seconds you can't get to him, well, that means you can just wait because you're probably like in line. Yeah. Yeah. This can either be a timer or some path finding thing. I don't know which one. If I cannot find a direct path and I'm not moving, I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna remove. It could work. It could work. It's probably not gonna look the best, but it could work. Okay, I guess that's it. So right now I'm working on the soldier engagement system. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, like once these guys are like, close enough to attack, then we're just gonna say, hey, I'm fighting now. Triggers the entire unit to go into a fighting mode, which means if you have an enemy soldier, you should try and get to him. If you can't get to him, wait your turn. Yeah, I think that's basically it. Stop moving if you have a locked enemy. Get to him. If you don't, hold position. Yeah, this might work for now. We're gonna leave it here, but we'll see. We'll see how it works. Okay. That's fun. That was fun, I think. Okay. If anybody is watching this, thank you for watching it. Thank you for listening to my mumbling and rambling. And if you'd like to join me, I will try to be streaming every day except Sundays, probably. At what's it? 5. I'm gonna say 5 p.m. Idaho time, which should be 4 p.m. 4 p.m. like LA time, West Coast. Yeah, West Coast time. It's 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Whatever. Again, if you'd like to watch me do this, you're welcome to come and join and talk to me while I try to get this done. Okay, that's it for today. And whoever's watching this, I will see you next time. Bye bye.